Hello, welcome to Hook Book and Notebook. Today we're going to go over my favorite crochet supplies, the things that I literally cannot live without as a crocheter who's been crocheting for over 10 years. Okay, the very first item that I absolutely cannot live without are hooks. And well, as a newbie crocheter, I recommend that you get the cheapest option that you can afford at that time. If you decide to pursue crocheting, you can upgrade your supplies. And just in the recent last couple of years, I have upgraded my supplies. And I watched another YouTuber named Passionate Kelsey, and she recommended Clover hooks, and Clover hooks have been a game changer for me. These guys are my life force for crocheting. They make crocheting faster, they make crocheting easier and more enjoyable. For some reason, the yarn just glides over the top of the metal and the tops, and these are the Clover Amour hooks. So I got various sizes that I use all the time. This one is the one that I use to make cardigans, and then this is the one that I usually use to make granny squares. They're probably the two that I use the most. Now, the other three I use as much also, but not as much as these two. These two are my bread and butter. They're my absolute favorite ones. I will say though that the way that you hold your hand on your hook is going to matter a lot. These are ergonomic handles, but I feel like you can knife hold or pencil hold, and you're also not going to feel like the fatigue. And then I've also noticed that whenever my hand does get fatigued from sitting like this, I can shift it just slightly over and it will not hurt anymore. The next thing that I absolutely cannot live without as a crocheter is scissors. I feel like you always need a pair of scissors in your bag at all times because you're gonna have to cut the yarn at some point in order to weave in those ends. So always having a pair of scissors available for you is gonna make your life a whole lot easier. Next thing that I always have with me as a crocheter is stitch markers. Stitch markers are super important. These are going to help you mark your spaces, especially if you're doing a linear item or if you're doing something in a round. I think you should always have a supply of stitch markers with you wherever you go, and you can just throw a handful of these into your bag. They don't take up much space at all. The next thing that I think you should need as is one of my absolutely favorite things are these guys, and I prefer this size, and I also prefer, I'm not sure what this brand is, a set of stitch markers. So I like the fact that they're flexible because ends that are in tight stitches, they will flex to go into tight stitches. So that's what I like about these. And my last absolute favorite thing, and I only use this usually when I'm out somewhere, or if my boys want to turn off the lights to watch a movie or something, or if I'm doing crocheting in bed, which happens every once in a while if I'm not reading, is this. This is a light. It goes around your neck, and then it's rechargeable, and I think it's not charged at this moment, but it just kind of sits around your neck right here. These, however you need to angle them so that you can do your stitches at night. Some people do alternatives to this where they'll have a lighted crochet hook. I'm not a fan of that. So I do prefer something like this where I can have the light wherever I need the light. And this makes a difference whenever you don't have very good lighting in your area. This will help you with that situation. I'm going to show you my bag that I take everywhere with me, that I literally throw in my bag. Right now it is full of scrap yarn because I'm working on a project for someone for Christmas, and I'm tending to need a lot of scraps as we go. So I store all the scrap pieces that I need also in the bag. So this is the bag that I use. She's been a little bit through it. She's got some wear and tear on her for sure, but I throw this thing into every bag that I take wherever I go. She gets a beating daily, but she's held up very well. I've had her for a couple of years now, and I literally just throw everything in there. All my hooks are in there that I could possibly need. The scrap yarn that I'm currently working on is in there. Any other scrap pieces that I've cut off that need to go in my scrap bag are currently in there. And yes, it does make looking for those darn darning needles right there and those stitch markers a little harder, but I prefer to dump my scrap yarn into my scrap bin about once every couple of weeks so that I can make sure that I keep it all together. But this was bought from Hobby Lobby and it's just been a lifesaver for sure. Alright guys, that's it for my favorite crochet items. If you have any questions or if you need any information, I will put some links below about where I bought everything. And then if something isn't available, I will try to find a dupe for it. Okay?